I have spent over 20 years studying the human brain, and what I am about to tell you genuinely shocked me when I first discovered it. Something you do every single morning, something so ordinary and automatic that you never think twice about it, may be silently raising your risk of stroke, not over decades, not gradually over years, overnight. The wrong shower habits can trigger dangerous changes in your blood pressure, your circulation, and your brain within hours. Millions of people are doing this wrong every single day, and they have absolutely no idea. I am going to show you exactly what those habits are, why they are dangerous at the neurological level, and what you need to do differently, starting with your very next shower. Welcome. If you are watching this, you probably consider yourself a reasonably healthy person. You shower regularly, you take care of yourself, and yet the bathroom, specifically the shower, is one of the most overlooked risk environments when it comes to cardiovascular and neurological health. As a brain doctor, I work with stroke patients and at-risk individuals every single week, and over the years, a pattern began to emerge that I could not ignore. Many of my patients who experienced sudden strokes or dangerous cardiovascular events had one or more of the shower habits we are going to talk about today. Some of them were young, some of them had no prior diagnosis of high blood pressure or heart disease, but their daily shower routine was creating invisible stress on their vascular system that finally reached a breaking point. Stroke is the second leading cause of death worldwide and one of the leading causes of long-term disability. Every 2 seconds, someone in the world has a stroke, and while most people think of stroke risk in terms of diet, genetics, or smoking, very few people understand how dramatically sudden temperature changes, poor shower timing, and certain physical habits in the shower can affect blood pressure and brain blood flow. Today, I'm going to change that. This is not about fear, this is about awareness, because once you know what to avoid and what to do instead, protecting yourself takes almost no extra effort at all. The first and most dangerous shower habit I want to talk about is jumping straight into a very hot shower, especially first thing in the morning. This one surprises people every time I mention it, because a hot shower in the morning feels wonderful. It feels like it is waking up your body and loosening your muscles. And in some ways it is. But here is what is happening inside your body that you cannot feel. When you expose your body to sudden, intense heat, your blood vessels near the skin dilate rapidly and dramatically. Your heart rate spikes, your body temperature rises quickly, and your blood pressure, which is already naturally elevated in the early morning hours due to a phenomenon called the morning surge, gets pushed even higher in the initial moments before the heat causes vasodilation. This combination, the natural morning blood pressure surge, layered on top of the cardiovascular stress of sudden intense heat, creates a window of real danger for people who have any degree of vascular vulnerability, even undiagnosed vulnerability. The morning hours between 6 in the morning and noon are already statistically the most dangerous time of day for heart attack and stroke. Adding a sudden thermal shock to your system during this window amplifies the risk significantly. The safe approach is to start your shower at a lukewarm temperature and gradually increase the heat over the first minute or two. This gives your cardiovascular system time to adapt rather than being jolted. It sounds like a small change, but at the vascular level, it makes an enormous difference. The second dangerous habit is the opposite of the first, ending your shower with a sudden cold blast or alternating rapidly between extreme hot and extreme cold. I know that cold shower therapy has become extremely popular in wellness communities, and I want to be careful here because there is legitimate research showing benefits of cold exposure for certain people in certain contexts. However, abrupt and repeated temperature swings during a shower create what cardiologists call thermal stress cycling. Each rapid shift from hot to cold causes your blood vessels to constrict and dilate in quick succession. For a young, healthy person with excellent vascular tone, this can be tolerated reasonably well. But for anyone over 40, anyone with undiagnosed hypertension, anyone with arterial stiffness that comes naturally with aging, or anyone with even mild cardiovascular risk factors, this repeated constriction and dilation cycle puts real mechanical stress on arterial walls. Over time and in the wrong moment, that stress can contribute to the kind of arterial event that ends in a stroke or a cardiac emergency. If you enjoy cold exposure, the safer approach is a dedicated, gradual cool down rather than violent temperature swings. The third habit is showering for too long at very high temperatures. When you stand under very hot water for 15, 20 or 30 minutes, you are not just relaxing, you are causing prolonged vasodilation across a large portion of your body surface. This causes a significant drop in blood pressure as blood pools in the dilated surface vessels. When you then stand up quickly or step out of the shower, your body has to rapidly redirect blood back to your core and brain. If that redistribution does not happen fast enough, and in people with blood pressure regulation issues, it often does not, you experience what is called orthostatic hypertension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when changing position. This is the dizziness and head rush that many people feel after a long, hot shower. Most people dismiss it as normal. It is not normal, it is your brain briefly not receiving enough blood. Repeated episodes of this, particularly in people with existing vascular risk, can cause transient ischemic attacks, which are often called mini-strokes, and can precede a full stroke. Keep your showers to 10 minutes or less when using hot water, and always transition out of the shower slowly rather than jumping up and rushing out. The fourth dangerous habit is showering immediately after eating a large meal. After you eat, your digestive system requires a significant increase in blood flow to process the food. Your body redirects circulation toward the gastrointestinal tract. If you then expose yourself to the cardiovascular demands of a hot shower at the same time, your heart is being asked to supply increased blood flow to two competing systems simultaneously: your digestive system and your skin surface. For people with any degree of cardiovascular compromise, this competition for blood flow can reduce circulation to the brain enough to cause dizziness, lightheadedness, or in vulnerable individuals, something more serious. The simple rule here is to wait at least 30 to 45 minutes after a significant meal before showering, particularly a hot shower. The fifth habit is showering when you are already physically stressed, overheated, or immediately after intense exercise without cooling down first. After intense physical activity, your heart rate is elevated, your blood pressure is fluctuating, and your blood vessels are already in a highly active state. Stepping directly into a hot shower at this point amplifies all of those cardiovascular signals simultaneously. Your already elevated heart rate, your fluctuating blood pressure, and the additional thermal load of the hot water create a perfect storm of cardiovascular stress. The correct approach after exercise is to allow your body to cool down naturally for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Bring your heart rate down closer to resting levels and then shower at a moderate, not scalding temperature. The sixth habit that many people overlook entirely is holding their breath or bearing down physically during showering. Some people do this without realizing it, straining to wash hard-to-reach areas, bearing down while bending over, or even inadvertently holding their breath during the shock of cold water. This kind of straining activates what is called the Valsalva maneuver, which causes a dramatic and rapid spike in intracranial pressure and blood pressure simultaneously. For most healthy people, this passes without incident. but for someone with an undetected cerebral aneurysm or significantly elevated blood pressure, this momentary spike can be genuinely dangerous. Be conscious of your breathing in the shower. Breathe normally throughout. Avoid straining movements, especially when bending at the waist. The 7th habit is showering alone when you are already feeling unwell, dizzy, or have recently had any neurological symptoms. I cannot stress this enough. If you woke up feeling unusually dizzy, if you experienced any sudden headache, any brief vision disturbance, any weakness in your arm or face in the hours before your shower, do not shower alone. These can be warning signs of an imminent stroke. The shower environment is one of the most dangerous places to be during a neurological event. Because of the combination of hot temperatures, wet, slippery surfaces, and the potential to lose consciousness with no one nearby to help. If you have any of these symptoms, sit down, call someone to be with you, and if the symptoms are significant, call emergency services immediately rather than continuing with your morning routine. The 8th habit is using extremely hot water directly on the back of the neck and head for extended periods. The back of the neck contains major blood vessels, including the vertebral arteries that supply blood to the brainstem and cerebellum. Prolonged direct heat on these vessels causes localized vasodilation and can affect blood flow dynamics to critical brain regions. Some of my patients who experience posterior circulation strokes affecting the back of the brain, reported habits of standing under very hot water with the shower head aimed directly at the back of their neck. This is not the only cause, but it is a contributing factor that most people would never think to mention to their doctor. Be mindful of where you direct very hot water and limit prolonged direct heat exposure to the neck area. Here is what I want you to take away from today and act on immediately. Starting with your very next shower, begin with lukewarm water and gradually adjust the temperature rather than blasting yourself with extreme heat. Keep your shower under 10 minutes, step out slowly, and give your body time to readjust. Never shower immediately after a large meal or intense exercise without cooling down first. Breathe normally throughout and avoid straining. And please, if you wake up with any neurological symptoms, dizziness, sudden headache, vision changes, facial drooping, arm weakness, do not get in the shower alone. Sit down, tell someone, and call for help if needed. These are simple changes. They cost nothing. They take no extra time. But they could be the difference between a normal Tuesday morning and a life-altering medical emergency. Share this video right now with someone you love, especially anyone over 40, anyone with high blood pressure, or anyone who has ever experienced dizziness after a shower. That dizziness was a warning sign, and now they will know what it means. Hit the like button to help this information reach more people, and subscribe to this channel because we cover brain health, stroke prevention, and neurological wellness every single week in plain language that everyone can understand. Your brain keeps you alive. Take care of it, starting tomorrow morning.